Hello, everybody. It is tea time with Liz and friends. We are back for a great and lovely episode, special episode at that. But before we get into all the details, my friends, how are you tonight? How are you?
I
Oh my!
am good. Oh, go ahead, Kat.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Right, I am doing. I'm tired, but I'm doing good at the same time. It has been a roller coaster date for me. What about you, Joe?
Hey, man, I'm here and I'm just trying to keep my head above my
Listen,
blanket because I'm ready for a nap or a bed, but I'm here. I'm here.
okay. Listen, and you know what? The people are glad you all are here. We thank you all for tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, if you are watching this on replay, let us know where you are tuning in from as well. Let us know you are replaying. We appreciate your love, support. The Tea
Yes.
Time with Liz and Friends. We are nothing without you. Ladies, we've been gone for a good minute. You know how we talk about minute, right? We've been
Yes.
gone for some weeks. And
Right.
hopefully, you all have been catching up on your tea that we have on our other social media platforms. But we are going to be getting into some good, amazing tea in the second half of the season. But before we do even talk about all that extra stuff, ladies, what have you been doing with yourselves, huh? What tea have you been getting into? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it cool? What's going on, huh?
Woo.
It's been interesting. I've been enjoying the break, just settling, getting some stuff settled in my own personal life and just enjoying this amazing summer that we've been having, the weather, spending time with friends and family and, seeing where God has been taking me, enjoying that and just riding a wave, actually.
Okay, come on. I love that tea flavor. Yes, I love that. All
Good
right,
tea.
Juana, what's
Good
going
tea.
on? Woo.
Oh my goodness. So much has been taking place. Well, let's see. I don't know where to start because I spend time with friends and family, but I've also been busy in the church, right?
Oh,
And that have been taking up most of my summer. Um, these last, I would say, 6 weeks have been again another emotional roller coaster ride. There's a lot of ups, right? The exciting moments and things, and then there's a lot of emotional moments.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest emotional roller coasters that I had to embark in is walking into my calling. I would say, that has been an emotional roller coaster for me, and having to let a couple of things go, and learning that letting go doesn't mean saying goodbye, right? And so, with that being said, another journey is coming, and I have to let one journey go to for God to perfect me for what He's calling me to do more. And um and again, I'm not letting go. I'm just saying, in this season, I'm going to step back a little bit and see how God is perfecting me into my next season. And I will be stepping down, not even stepping down, right? Let me not say that. I don't know how to say it, right? I don't know how to say that. I will not be a co host on Tea Time with Liz and Friends for the next series. And wow, that was a mouthful, right? Because
yeah.
is a bittersweet moment
Such
for
a
me, and because I love my tea time, right? I love having this chopping it up with my girls, and it's conversations and just being with people that you love and enjoy having conversations with is so important. And stepping down from the platform again doesn't mean I'm gone. It just means that God is doing something new in my life, and I'm excited about that journey. But letting go is so difficult. It is so difficult, and I don't
listen.
care what anybody said. Letting go can be one of the hardest things that we have to endure. And somebody say something.
I was just letting you get your people. Listen, okay. She said a whole mouthful. I know y'all are like, hang on, rewind. What'd she say? Bring it back. No, say it's not so. I know. We've had a couple weeks to process this ourselves. Okay. I'm gonna try not to cry. But for real though, we love Kawana. She has joined us in this new journey as we have elevated here on Tea Time with Liz and Friends, and she has been nothing but a blessing. I know for so many of you who view and tune in, you have been an encouraging voice to letting her know she is a voice in this time and in this season, and God is just moving her expeditiously. And so for us to be sad, of course, we're human, right? But we are also full of joy, because if he's doing it for her, listen, we right behind her, right? And to know that God is going to do some suddenlies as well in our lives as he is doing for her. But we have seen Kawana just do so many great things here, so many seeds of wisdom, so many seeds of empowerment, and breaking of walls, and just the healing journey, and her transparency has just been beyond words. And for that, we could never repay you, Kawana, for the times and the efforts and the things that you have partaked in Tea Time with Liz. We've had our conversation in private as sisters. That does not stop, as we have already said. And so tonight, with this news, we want to have one last good conversation, good tea session with our viewers, and talk about shifts. Shifts, as she said, it's not easy. It's not even necessarily sometimes saying goodbye to something or somebody, but it is just embracing your next season or your next place. I discovered, that that purpose has destinies, and those are always in different places and different seasons. And sometimes there is a group of people with you, and sometimes you have to stand alone. And so I want to ask the ladies. I think we've all been through shifts. Obviously, Kwana, this isn't still fresh for you, and I can speak to it just 2 years ago when I made my shift from South Dakota to Minnesota again, in that transition, how that was for me. But Joe, share with us what sparks you in this conversation as far as like what has been a shift or a transition for you in your life.
I have went through a few shifts. When I'm trying to find the right words to say and it won't come out, but transitioning from one church to another,
that's good.
or even a ministry, one ministry to another. I was in a dance ministry and or the choir, and I joined the dance ministry. I had a certain peace about it, and it wasn't like, oh, I don't want to do this. It hurt because singing was a part of me. But what I learned and what I gained from being in the choir, I was able to take all of that experience and apply it to the ministry that I was doing in the dance. So it was a stepping stone for me. And I know that even where I am now, I'm not in the dance ministry. I'm not in a choir for say, outside of triad, but looking at my life from transitioning from different churches and different ministries and stuff like that, I see it as a stepping stone. And it was necessary for me to go through those avenues, those steps, to learn certain things in ministry and certain places, certain people, certain atmospheres to get me to where I am today. So it was a bittersweet every time I left, because I don't join anything unless I have the passion to. And usually when I join the passion to do it, I'm in it wholeheartedly. So for me
Yeah.
to leave it, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to leave because I'm
you left
loyal.
a part of your heart. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm loyal. But I knew it. When I had peace about leaving it, then it was time
That's
for me.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. I love it. Just listening to you speak, and you're talking about the shift, and one thing that I sometimes do is I look up a word, right? And I'm looking up
And hang on, y'all. This is where I'm gonna miss. Okay, if I just start crying out of nowhere, this is why. This is why. Okay. Go ahead with your definition, sis. Go ahead.
And because shift, the move or cause to move from one place to another, especially over a small distance. A slight change in position or direction.
Come on.
And
Light.
that's exactly,
say it for the people in the back again. Say it one more time. Okay.
A slight change in position, because that's what's happening, right? God is changing my position and he's changing my direction. And change is not comfortable. Let me definitely say that. Change is never comfortable. Change, acceptance, right? Because when we shift, there's a change in our life and we have to be able to accept that change. And sometimes it is hard for us to accept that change, that movement, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is the hardest thing to ever do, to be comfortable in uncomfortability. And so when God is shifting or, shifting our lives, we have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Right?
No, I want to ask something, because you said something so powerful, that change is hard, right?
Yeah.
And that, it's almost like you have to come to a crossroad, or you have to come to a submission. So let's talk about that, because, this is Tea Time with Liz. We get real with it. Okay.
Right.
Let's be real. Okay. What was it like for you all when you had to come to that crossroad of making that change? What started to become uncomfortable that was once comfortable? I can say for myself, home started to feel outdated. I felt as though I had conquered, and I was just playing a game just to be playing a game. Not to say I was playing games in South Dakota, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
But like you're just here we go. You were just going to the same shoe store, looking at the same pair of shoes. Okay, girl.
Routine.
It's the whole routine, and the shoes ain't changing. You trying to find a heel, and you keep going to Nike, and they ain't got none. You know what I'm saying? Like it is not going to change until you shift to a different store. Like you said, a slight position change, right? And so that's how I knew I had to make a change. I had to figure out where God was leading me to next. Now we'll get into that a little later, but that was me. So Kawana, I'll start with you and then we'll go to Joe. What was it like for you as far as that change, like when you came to that uncomfortableness? What made it uncomfortable that was once comfortable?
Being alone. Not being next door or down the street from your sister, not being around the corner from your best friend, but being all alone by yourself, and not familiar with being by yourself. Because I told myself a long time ago, I didn't want to do this on my own. I wanted someone with me. Let me go a little further. I told the Lord, this is me now. I told the Lord that I wasn't going to move into what he wanted me to do until I got a husband.
Oh,
how many of us have said that?
Oh,
raise your hand.
Go on now. Listen. And I'm just speaking because no one wants to be alone on this journey.
Okay.
This journey is not easy, because now I'm in a place where I don't know how to be by myself. And it was scary. It is scary. Again, change is scary. So that fear crept in, and I wanted to go back home to my sister. I wanted to go over to my friend's house. I found myself driving back to the city that I moved from, just to be with my friends and have a conversation. And then my pastor said to me, "What is the purpose? Always have a purpose." And I said, "What?" I'm still not comprehending. I'm still not catching on, because all I want to do is be with the people that I'm comfortable with, the people that know me, the people that's familiar with me, that I can laugh and be Kawana with. I don't want to change. I don't want to change my atmosphere. I don't want to bring new people in my atmosphere. But I tell you, God said you have to bring new people in your atmosphere. You have to be alone, because you got to get to know me a little bit more than what you already do. Because I need to raise you up. I need to make you grow a little bit more than what you already are. You have some seeds, but now they need watering.
Come on.
And that right there made me pause and stop and watch and pay attention to what God was doing for me in my life. Harder than I don't know what, but it is so worth it.
Right.
The crying that I did at night, people don't know how much.
Okay, hang on, because we're gonna get into that. Hang on. Pause. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. All right, Joe, how did your comfortable to change come?
Okay, so listen, as I was listening to you guys speak, the vision that I was getting for me was, it was kind of like having an outfit on that I outgrew. It was starting to be too tight. And although I looked good, I didn't feel good.
Right.
Because it wasn't fitting me the way that it used to.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't have the room in it like I used to. And nobody else was able to see this, but I could feel this. Okay. So I was so comfortable because I knew that I was cute in this outfit. I didn't want to go get another outfit. Even though I was in denial. I was in denial that I outgrew this outfit, that I need to go and get a bigger size. I was scared of what I was going to look like in the next size. But when I finally stepped up to the next size, I learned that I had more room. I had more room to move and to grow.
Yes.
Come on with the analogies tonight. I just want to say the wisdom in this room right here.
Don't you play with it, because Liz and Joe, let me just tell y'all something. I remember going to the shoe store so I used to go see a psychiatrist, and after I came to see the psychiatrist, I was so stressed out. I used to go to the shoe store. I used to go see a psychiatrist twice a week, and I would go to the shoe store twice a week and try on every shoe that I thought was nice. And every time I would go in there, and I would spend hours in the store trying on different pair of shoes. Sometimes I'll walk out with a 2 pair or 3 pair. One time I was sitting there trying on shoes, and something said, "Did you try me? Did you try all of me? I'm the perfect shoe. Put me, all of me on."
Listen, he will get you in the shoe store, will he not?
In the shoe store. I thought I was a little crazy a little bit there. Because I'm like, well, I got you. And because I know who's talking. I'm like, "Lord, what I got you?" No, you ain't tried all of me.
You didn't try all of me.
You didn't try all of me.
Listen.
So that outfit that you had on, it didn't feel good because you didn't put the right one on, because God got one tailored just for you.
God
And
had
the
a
shoes
bigger
that I
one
was
for
trying
you.
on, baby, they weren't feeling good because God didn't give me those shoes to put on.
Mm-mm,
He needed me
mm-mm.
to put on a different pair that was going to be perfect for my feet.
I got something better for you.
Come on, come on, come
I
on.
got something better for you. It feels so much better. You have more room to grow, and you're going to look and feel better.
Yes.
Listen, this is a whole revival tonight. Listen, no sad stories here. Celebration. What? What's
It's a shift, and you
and I'm
and
listen.
back to a change. Change is uncomfortable. It's not
Yes.
comfortable, and what makes it uncomfortable is because you're shifting into the unknown.
That's right. There
You're
you go.
shifting into the unknown.
There you
But
go.
how? But the unknown is also fear. You're scared of what's
Yes.
there. So you're basically saying, "I don't trust you, God."
However, okay, let's talk about that for a second. Is it really okay? There is a little fear, but I feel like when you make the step and the effort to go into that new and you leave that old, you have conquered your doubts and your fears,
Yes.
even though you may still have the residue of from that, you still have overrode it to why the word says that we are more than conquerors, right?
Right.
I mean, I literally just read this a couple nights ago. Um, Peter walking on water, right?
Yeah.
Peter had the faith to get out the boat and walk on the water. You had the faith. You're
That's
walking
right.
on the water. But then you let wind you cannot see, wind that you just felt on your cheek,
Come
Come
on,
on now.
word.
Say
Come
it.
on, word.
you, sink you, and you had to cry out, Lord, save me. And he
Yes.
said, I had you the whole time if you would have just stayed focused. But
Stay
you let
But
the wind, you let your feeling, you let your
Come and take you
feeling
out. It took you all the way out.
all the way out. And
That's so good. That's so good.
so you're right. Like we do have those fears and we do have that, but fear is when it's got you hostage and you don't move. But
That's
I feel like if you have overrode that fear and you've stepped out the boat, keep going. You know what I'm saying?
And
Keep
and,
going.
and
But go ahead.
I speak from experience with that.
Yeah.
Fear, will definitely try to overtake you, and it'll try to keep you in a certain spot, and
Right.
and you'll stay there. And as long as you allow that fear to be dominant,
Right.
and this is why I said you're basically not trusting God. When you start trusting God and be like, you know what, whatever, I'm just gonna go and trust God that He knows what's best for me, and He's going to lead and guide me. You're gonna take that step, and that's what I did. I took the step, and when I took the step, God had me, and that's when my faith grew even more
yes.
to take another step.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that the fear
Right.
wasn't
It's
there,
not,
but it wasn't
right.
it wasn't as crippling. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was more like, okay, now I'm totally leaning on God. Now I know what I need to do to try to take my next step, because He has me. He's leading me. He's guiding me. He's ordering my steps.
You got me. Listen.
Yes.
And the thing is, he told you to do it. So why wouldn't he have you? He told you to do it.
Because you all in your flesh, scared, got that fear dominating.
Listen, okay. All right. So we talked about the change. So now we in the change, we in the new. What was your process like in the new? What has your process like? Maybe some of us are still working in this new situation. Raise your hand. So what has the process been like in the new? Have you had some just what is the process, Quana? I'll start with you. Like what because you got a definition, sis. I already know something.
No, I don't. You know what? I don't, because the process, I would say the process began with accepting. right?
That's good.
That's good.
Good.
Yep,
And
that's good.
in order to begin the process, we have to be able to accept what God is doing. And with not knowing what's ahead, and holding on to your faith. So I'm going to say acceptance and holding on to your faith, because now you have to really truly know that your faith lies in God. And you can't be shaky. You have to be, what they say, 10 toes down, or you have to stand firm in this process, because we don't know what's about to happen. We don't know the unknown. And when that fear creeps in, we have to truly know that God is with us. He said, I'm with you always. And that is the process. Not knowing, but being able to accept every criticism that comes your way, being able to approach things with a different eye, being able to listen in a different tone, being able to, what they say, shut mouth grace, shut up when you have to shut up. You know, and for some women,
Go back.
Shut mouth grace.
Shut mouth grace. We have to have shut mouth grace.
What?
You know,
that. Okay.
The grace
we have to be able to be quiet in the moments that we don't need, when we don't need to say anything. We have to be able to, here's what I'm gonna say, be submissive, right? And that is difficult by itself. But we have to be able to be submissive, because God is doing a new thing.
Facts.
God is, like you said, he's purging, right, Liz? That weight that the world has taught us.
Facts.
Those negative things that we hold so dear to our heart. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing, we hold on to the negative things more tighter than we hold on to the positive things. We have a strong grip on the world sometimes than on our faith. And if we don't let go of this negative, sometimes negative can overtake us and pull us back to where we started from. So we have to be able to let go and let God do what he needs to do. I wrote something that said, and I remember writing it out. I said, in this season, when the rain is falling, God is removing the things that we still have lingering in our lives. So he's washing away the residue that we got still attached to us.
That's good.
The people, the negative people, the people that's not meant for us in our, those things that we're holding on to because we don't want to be alone, or we don't want to go through this process, or we can't let go on our own. So God have to allow the rain to come in and wash that away. He needs to remove those things. And so,
okay, so you preaching, sis. You preaching. You was preaching. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to preach.
No, you fine. But tell us how did it feel for you though? How it, as you are preaching, because obviously you preaching it, you went through it, right? So
it hurt.
Right? It hurts. Okay.
I'm not used to being cleansed. I'm not used to shutting up. I always want to have a rebuttal. When someone criticizes me, I want to get loud. My defense mechanism pops up, and I had to learn how to shut it down. I had to learn how to let it go.
God will definitely.
I had to learn how to let the gossip go. I had to be able to walk away from conversation. And baby, let me just tell you, it's still kind of hard because I be want to say, what she do? What? No, she did. But I have to be like, okay, now God is doing something new. I can't listen to the nonsense. But honey, I be wanting to get the tea. Right?
No,
it's so hard to walk away.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to accept the criticism, but the criticism is good. I can remember crying. I came home. I didn't cry out in the public, but I came home and shut my door, and I cried like a baby. I think I wanted to call my sister. I wanted to call my best friend. And guess what? I couldn't even call them to tell them how mad I was, how frustrated I was. I actually just sat there for like 15 minutes before I even opened my mouth to call out to God to explain to him what I was going through. And that's why I was by myself, because I needed to learn how to cry out to God so he can show me some of these things that I needed to grow from and needed to let go, that he needed to cleanse out.
And that's growth by itself. That right there is growth by itself.
Yeah.
That's good.
And it's this process is uncomfortable. But as I said before, I got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
And don't you dare ask for more. All right, Joe, tell us about your new. Because I am going to start with that. But tell us about your new, okay? How has your new been? What's been great about it?
You know,
what's been hard about it? Tell us the hard.
She said, nah. Tell us the hard stuff first.
The hard stuff.
The pain.
You know, my new, I was like, I thought that I was just going to sit and just chill and not do anything. I was like, I'm not finna join the ministry. I'm not about to do anything. And I ran and ran and ran. Every time somebody called on me to do anything, I would run. I'd be like, okay, now they do it. It would come rapidly, like Sister Joe, come do this. Sister Joe, come do that. Come grab. And it's always something to do with the microphone. And I'm like, oh, it's, you know, it's a sing, if it's pray, if it's
irritated.
Word. And I'm like, I don't want to, you know, but I'll do it anyways. But even like then I started coming to church late, leaving early, just so I wouldn't. And they still, well, before Sister Joe leaves, we're going to have her come up and sing a solo. No.
There you go. Solo.
So I tried to run. I tried to get rid of, tried not to do it. And my only other option was just to not go to church. And I was like, I don't want to do that again. I'm here, So I submitted. And I said, you know what, Lord, my posture is yes. And as I did that, it really meant for me to humble myself and trust God, because everything that has been thrown at me has been nothing but it has had me to do nothing but trust him, because Jonisha can't do these things. Jonisha can't do these things. So, Lord, I need you. I can't do anything. I can't do these things without you. So it's humbling, and I have to continue to learn how to not have control. God has to have complete control, because
that's good.
He's the one who has me here.
That's
so
good.
Lord, you have me here. I need you to control. I need you to have your way, because if Jonisha has anything to do with it, Jonisha's going to mess it up. And I don't want to be here in the first place. So I need you, and it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not the type of person who likes to be in front. I don't like to have the microphone. I don't like to be in cameras, but this is the season that God has me in, and I can't run from it. So it's like, okay, yes, Lord, have your way.
Have your way.
And that it took me a while to even get to, because I was running for a while. So
come on.
So yeah.
Okay, wait. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Not because it's not off subject, but how long were you running? And
because that is exactly the direction I was going. So I'm glad you asked. Come on and answer, Joe. How long you ran, huh?
Was you on a marathon?
You still running? You still running?
Right.
We got track stars in the kingdom of heaven. I just want you all.
A couple years, like
it's real. It's real.
It was a couple of years. Like at one point, I stopped going to church because I was like, I'm not. Every time I go to church, somebody's calling on me, and I don't want to. But my relationship with God was much deeper than the fear that I was having, and I knew it was nothing but fear. Um, but it was a couple of years. I like didn't want to go. I was trying to strategically figure out a way where I would not have to take part. And I don't care what, no matter where I was or what I was doing, I was always being called to do something. So I was like, you know what? Just whatever.
Listen,
Just
I,
whatever.
I have to. Oh well, hang on, Kwana. How long you been running? How long? Are you tired yet? Is you
Girl,
ready?
my feet hurt so bad. I just
Yes, Lord. Yes.
listen. I was running. I was like, what's that song? Running, running, and running. Uh,
She's talking about the Christian version, everybody.
I don't know any of those
seriously,
words.
No, there is no Christian version. Before y'all come for us.
I would say truly I didn't plant my feet down for about at least 7 years.
That was longer than what I was running from.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I had my own plan. Okay, I'm just saying. I told
Oh my
I had
God.
it. In my head, I had this.
Well, God knows I don't like running, so I ain't ran too long. Probably 2 minutes, and that's about it. I'm pretty submissive. It's just sometimes when things are different, because I think you both said this in different ways, though. Joe, you talked about control and giving control to God, and Kwana, you said being submissive and just being um, obedient to the process, right?
Yeah,
And I think when God transitions you or shifts you, He makes sure that there is no access to the old. Um,
Ooh.
I like that.
that door is closed,
Ooh.
and I I continuously try to open this door
Ooh.
and think that this key is going to work in this door. And,
That's the season I'm in.
and it's not.
Ooh.
It's just plain and simple not. And so you have to confront. And so I think that is one thing about newness, is that even though you've never done it before, or you've never operated in it before, or whatever the case may be, you just have to confront it. God will give you the guidance. God will give you the clarity. He will give you all the tools and things you need. But as those two had just stated earlier, it's about giving him control and obeying in the process. I think those are the biggest things you have to know when you transition or when you shift. If you're not willing to submit and you're not willing to obey, you're going to have a hard time in transition, because you're going to feel like a child in the wilderness. You're going to feel very lost and not knowing what direction to go, but you know what direction to go, right? When you see the whole sign right there that says take a right, and you're like, but I don't know if that's exactly where I'm supposed to go.
Hard-headed. Hard-headed.
It's just hard-headed, and I'm
Just
that
our
child.
head.
I'm that child. Listen, sis tried several times to go to Chicago. Tried, okay? Didn't work. Tried to go to North Carolina. Didn't work.
Didn't work.
Trying to go to Cali. Still not working. Like none of these.
Just sit down. Just sit down.
Exactly. Like
somewhere.
you just gotta accept your place, and you just gotta just deal with it, right?
Yeah.
But I've submitted because God has stripped me from everything. And sometimes he does that too. In the midst of your transition, sometimes I don't know which one of y'all said this, but like you get new equipment. I feel like you get new ears, you get new
Yeah.
eyesight, you become like this new person, and you see things differently, you hear things differently. And so God sometimes has to literally strip you,
Yeah.
um in a way, like Kawana said, sometimes you have to be alone in order to know that place in God. And there's several examples in the Bible, if we need to talk about them, that people were left alone all the time with God, and yet we don't want to be left alone,
Oh,
but we're not. That's the kicker right there. There comes my South Dakota. That's the kicker. But we're not, because
no.
he set this all up for our good. And once we've embraced this process, we've embraced the new, um, as we all can testify, how has it been on the other side? After you've settled, after you've gotten to that dress, after you've finally settled into those shoes that now are not too tight, you know? How do you feel? Do you feel better? Do you feel like yourself? I can testify for myself, my transition finally settling back in Minnesota. I finally have received my true call, I guess you can say. Not to say I didn't know what it was, but it manifested even more, and I hear God differently. I see God differently, and he's used me in so many different capacities. And so I but I had to be obedient, and I had to do all those things we just said. So that's me. So Joe, what about you? What's it feel like?
I feel like there's a peace that comes with it.
Come
Um,
on, Pete.
yeah, and then with the peace, there's a hunger
Mm,
that makes you want to dig more. Like,
come on.
okay, I now have this peace and I have a glimpse of where God wants me to go. So let me
Mm.
dig more. Let me find out how deep this is going to go. So I want to just continue to dig and find out what God is trying to get me to do. So that's kind of where I am now. Just hungry.
I love
Mm.
it.
Yeah. What about you, Kat?
I agree. There is a peace knowing that. Well, let me change that up. I like this cat. I like this kind of glow that I have. Um, Still not knowing everything, but being humble in my own way, and embracing it one day at a time. I think I'm a little bit more emotional. Um, and I think it's because I'm still in awe of what God can do. And I'll give an example. I think I was crying the other day because we're going to be doing Bible study on Wednesdays with the young kids now. And even though I teach Sunday school, right, for the high school class, I was like, oh God, thank you so much for what you're doing for, just embracing it and being excited because he's allowing me to stand before his children. He's allowing me to, he's using me, and I think that right there just keeps shocking me every time he uses me for something. Um, because, and okay, I'm maybe have a couple of tears because I didn't think that he will use me the way he's using me. I didn't think that I was good enough to be in the front. Um, Even though I can be a little bossy from time to time, but who I am, I didn't even imagine that I'll be here to stand before his people, uh, to give a word. to do a seminar, to be able to sing a song. But my God, his grace and his mercy, and the fact that he chose me to do these things. He's using me to do these things. I'm very humble for that. And I'm excited. I'm excited for everything that he is doing and how he's pouring into me. I'm so thankful for that. And so, yeah, that's just a cry. I told you I'm a crybaby now. So I was a crybaby before, but I think the tears drop a little bit more. But the best part about the tear dropping is I can do it in private a little bit more.
I'm dead.
Instead of, because I used to cry all the time. But now it's like I can control it a little bit, and I'm at home, and I'm the tears are falling, and I'm just in awe of what God is doing. I think I'm just so appreciative, just in awe, and just waiting to see what happens next. So yeah, it's exciting and nerving, stressful sometimes, but exciting at the same time. So I'm excited and being a crybaby with it.
Cry, girl, cry.
Okay, let some tears fall.
Cry it out, sis. Cry it out. All right, Joe. What about you?
What was the question? I was all
We're all crying. We're all caught up in the cry.
What was the question?
You know what? To be honest, I don't forgot.
I don't even know why
Kawana took us to a whole nother level. See, it's these shifts that we won't have no more. We won't have these shifts no more. We get caught up with Kawana.
I think we already answered the question. Ketter,
I think you did. You answered the question.
Okay, I got lost. My fault. And there you have it, people. We are real. Okay, we are real people.
We are real. We're very real. And
very human. Very human.
Very, very much so.
But to be honest, if I could just say to this in our final few minutes, that this is what Tea Time is about right here, is to see and to encourage, to empower, to support, to love, and to see each other go further, to flourish. And, as sad as we are, like I said at the beginning, we are truly excited for Minister Evangelist Kawana Ragland, and where God has taken her, to see the growth, to see God do nothing but the best in her life. And we are still here supporting and loving on her through it all. And I think that is important in a shift as well. You have to have good sounding people around you that will not talk you out of your shift, that will not talk you out of where you're going and how you're going and what you're doing. And so just be careful to who you hear and what you're listening to, and be careful of your surroundings. If it is the atmosphere God is shifting you from, He will provide another divine connection for you to be connected to. And but that is just one thing for sure, but that we stand on. And I am just excited for you, Kawana. Joe, do you have any final words before we all start crying? I made it. I had tears though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I am very excited for you, and we will be praying for you, because we believe that God truly has something amazing in store for you in this next season in your life. This is definitely not a goodbye. We know that you're still going to be around. You're still part of our sisterhood. and we are expecting you to still pop up on us and take part
You know it.
when you're able to. Continue to pray for us as we are going to be praying for you. I will say that I didn't get to meet you until we started this journey, and like I told you before, I have gained a sister.
Yes.
So I thank God for that. And that I love you. We love you. And tea time, sisters. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry too.
Okay. All right, let's bring it back. Bring it back, God.
I'm going to say,
I was gonna say, do you have any final words of advice, love, comments you want to share, Kawana? It is yours.
I'm definitely going to say, I'm so thankful to Liz for this platform, to be a co-host with her. It was an honor and a privilege, and I thank you so much for the opportunity. It gave me opportunity to hear my voice, and express,
Tissue. Where's the tissue?
it was, and again, I know I'm going to be like co-host over here. I'm coming in, I'm knocking at the door. A sisterhood have developed. Joe, my new sister, you right. I've never met you before this, and so thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life, and gaining another sister, because sisterhood is so important, and positive people, and praying sisters, because that's what we are, praying warriors. And God saw fit to put us together for this season and the continuous seasons that we will be together. And I'm going to cherish every moment that we come together, because again, this is just new beginnings. It's not the end. I just want to say, when we first started our first episode, you said, Liz, what is the word God gave you for this year? And I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, He gave me double. For my mourning. He gave me beauty for ashes, for my confusion. He clothed me with righteousness, for such a time as this. I'm so humbled because I'm getting double for everything I've been through in my past. God has given me double for that. I'm not confused anymore, because I know the joy that God has given me, that double portion of joy that He's given me. And I still hold dear to those words. That's my scripture, Psalm 61, 7, double, double, double. So tea time, you will see me again.
Okay.
And my friends are going to do great, even though I'm not there. They'll hear me in the background saying, yes, yeah, okay.
Tag us in the comments with your definitions. We need them.
That part.
We need them.
Right. So, I am going to miss this. But I'm not going to miss it, because I will be with you guys always. And so thank you again, Liz, so much. I really, truly just thank you so much. My sister, my friend. Yeah.
All right. Well, before this becomes a whole stopping party, we'll end this special episode. But stay tuned for Tea Time with Liz and Friends, still with your girls, Mia and Joe, coming up here September 2nd. We are going to start hot with, what is it, Joe? I'm still trying to get myself together.
I can't remember either.
Oh, it's not you, it's me. There we go. We are
Right.
not good for advertisement right now. But stay tuned, stay connected to the platform so that you'll know what's coming up next on Tea Time with Liz. Kawana, we will always love you. You will never be a stranger here on Tea Time with Liz. And friends, you will always be the first and final friend on this episode, on these shows, okay? Just want you to know there is no open vacancies. When there
Thank
were no
you.
filling any spots.
No new friends. No new friends.
No new friends, you guys. That's it. That's all.
No new friends. So we love you all. Stay tuned, and you all have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.